Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy GZTV. First video of the day before I go to lunch here. I'm probably going to record the other video idea then, again, before I go to lunch. But we're here to talk about The Sopranos episode 42. It's the third of the show's fourth season. We're kind of cruising along into the fourth season. We're going to watch a couple episodes of the show. A couple more episodes of the show throughout the week, too, because there's no basketball on. This is where they talk about Christopher Columbus, who's obviously a huge part of the Italian community and has been ever since, he became known. So that's a really interesting thing to get like an Italian take on it. So getting into it, Silvio wants to take action against Native Americans protesting the Columbus Day Parade, believing their actions to be insulting to Italian Americans, making a mockery out of Christopher Columbus. Obviously, there's a lot of justification of what the Indians protest for on Columbus Day because look, he took their land. That's my take on it. He took their land. He's kind of a piece of shit for that. He thought he discovered a new land, realized there were people there already kind of living there, and he said, I don't give a fuck, I want to make myself look good, so let's just take these people out, But when, without Tony's approval, Patsy, and Artie attempt to break up the protests, Little Paulie and several others are injured, and they start to get into fights with these Native Americans. So Ralphie threatens the protest leader, Professor Del Redclay, that he will make it known that Iron Eyes Cody, a popular Native American figure, was actually an Italian American, and that would make it pretty ironic, with this whole Christopher Columbus debacle kind of going on. So Tony unsuccessfully appeals to Assemblyman Ron Zellman and to an Indian chief to convince Red Clay to cancel the protest. He's trying to get these people to stop because they're going to, during the Columbus Day Parade where all the kids are coming out and they want to have fun, here come the Native Americans wanting to lay in the middle of the road. And again, Columbus Day is obviously super corrupt and it's super controversial, but I mean, the kids still need to have some fun and still at least need to enjoy any holiday there is, wrong or not. I don't know. That's what I think of it too, is that the kids need to be able to enjoy themselves, I guess. Like, they're in their childhood, for crying out loud. So the chief invites Tony and his crew to his casino to kind of make it up to them that he couldn't get these Indians or Native Americans to stop. Both the parade and protest occur without mob intervention, which upsets Silvio. Silvio seems to be the most prideful of it all. Tony forcefully argues to Silvio that his achievements came through his own abilities, not through his heritage, and scorns the idea that everyone belongs to a victimized group. We don't all have to be victims here. Native Americans are trying to protest against us. We're not a victim for that. We're not necessarily a victim for that. So I think there was a very interesting argument, a very interesting discussion kind of towards the end of the episode. So anyway, at a luncheon meant to install Italian pride in women, the mob wives feel singled out when the speaker attempts to dissociate Italian culture from the mafia. And it's well, we are a part of the mafia technically. We're mafia wives. And I wouldn't say it's disrespectful because, they kind of deserve it. You don't want a whole group of people to be associated with something so negative. But at the same time, being singled out like that and feeling left out, feeling kind of attacked, I guess it's understandable where their angst comes from. So, after the luncheon, Gabriella lectures Father Phil about how much the mob wives, especially Carmela, have given to the parish, and says he had no right to bring in a guest speaker who intended to shame them. I think that's kind of dumb, though. You kind of got to take shit like that on the chin. Obviously, the mob guys in the actual mob take shit all the time from the news and from the media and all this stuff, and these people and these wives are getting upset over one speaker doing it. It's A, you're not even doing the actions, you're not even technically a mafia member, and B, who are you to be offended when everything that's going on with the mafia is bad and means nothing but horrible negative things. But so Carmela's obviously given a lot to the parish, but still that doesn't mean they should refrain from giving the mafia a bad name. But the Soprano and Lupertazzi families meet over a meal. Johnny, speaking for Carmine, demands a share of the profit Tony made from Junior's warehouse, which was recently flipped, and it was flipped really soon, so now they're getting kind of suspicious that Tony did something crazy with it and all this stuff. So Tony agrees, but comes to the conclusion that someone from his organization is leaking information to the Lupertazzi family. Someone is ratting. And that person is, I'm pretty sure it's Johnny. When he was talking to Paulie on the phone, he was hearing a lot. I don't know, it's kind of weird. So, now that Johnny, or yeah, it was Paulie that did it. So now that Johnny knows of Ralphie's joke about his wife, he's furiously hostile to him, but will not say why. But eventually, I feel like they're going to understand why. But yeah, things are going to start going downhill for Ralphie, and I feel like the next episodes, the further installments of the show are going to kind of signify that. But yeah, I would have thought Johnny would have kind of took it as a joke, but I mean, it isn't really that funny to him, especially because that's his wife. But yeah. So Bobby's wife, speaking of wives, Karen, is killed in a road accident out of nowhere. I mean, this show just throws random deaths at you. It's kind of strange. The mob wives feel sympathy for Bobby during the wake and discuss his having never taken a Komare, which is a mistress, like cheating. He never cheated. He was a loyal man. He loved this girl too much, and that just shows the affection. Spending time with him in his home, Janice is touched by his sincere grief, and she kind of gets, inspired. So, shortly after Ralphie leaves Rosalie, Janice allows him to move in with her, but after a discussion with her therapist, she wills herself to break up with him, because he doesn't seem like good news, and she keeps kind of following this vicious cycle of getting with men that, remind her of her controlling, fucked up father, and she's like, no, we can't do this. So when he comes home with his luggage, she yells at him to leave and pushes him down the stairs, injuring his back, which was kind of funny, but you do feel bad for Ralphie. He left 2 women in one episode here. Janice locks herself in a room as Ralphie hobbles back to his car, bags in his hands, and yeah, he kind of accepts that that's over. Speaking of first appearances, Dan Castleman was the prosecutor in Junior's trial, and seems like he's going to be super important this season. Pi Oh My was the racehorse that Ralph Cifaretto buys in Tony and Myers. Marty Schwartz is an associate of Hesh Rapkins, who organizes the meeting between Tony Cifaretto excuse me, Chief Doug Smith. I have a really bad cough. Obviously, Karen Bacalari, who's the wife of Bobby Bacalari. I can never say their last name right. She dies in a car accident, so that's a pretty big deal. Kind of scars Bobby after him recently getting this new gig, this new job. So that's obviously fucked up. Let's see. What else happened? I don't know. I don't really know what else to say. Obviously, the title refers to the Italian explorer Christopher Columbus, the first European in several countries to land in the Americas in 1942. The controversy surrounding Christopher Columbus and the Columbus Day Parade protests are referenced repeatedly in the episode, which is, again, cool to, mention real events in a TV show. It's almost like a history lesson. It almost gives, a couple perspectives on the issue. But, yeah, that's going to do it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Sorry if that was a little lackluster. I got to get to other videos. I got to get other stuff done for the day. Still got this stupid-ass programming project. I've been getting destroyed by programming, my entire college career. So, if you don't get 2 videos the next 2 days, at least it's fine. Obviously, Wednesday, you're going to get 2 videos because we're in